What I try to do my best to deliver is, what are the most recent legal issues that they need to go heading into the next school year? So what are the things that the key bills that were passed and signed into law by the legislature and signed by the governor? What are those things? Because there's so many out there that what I try to do is to really narrow those down and focus on the bills that are really going to impact schools the most and impact our members the most, and to give them a feel for the key points and the key takeaways from from those laws. And so hopefully by coming and attending, they'll be able to hear that. And then as I give them those key points, I try to also touch on, well, what are practical takeaways as well? So what does this really mean in their buildings? What does it mean in their school districts as they're carrying out the work? My passion really relates, it's probably similar to our members, where my passion, at the end of the day, my passion is about trying to impact kids in Iowa, in our schools. And so now I do that more indirectly, of course. So I do that indirectly through our members as they're doing that very directly with the students. But that's really what drives me and what motivates me, is knowing that, hey, at the end of the day, if a member can call me, or if they can email me, if they can go to a session like this, like we have an annual conference, and if I'm able to add value to them and add, something that they can take back to their buildings and districts to help students, that's really what motivates me. And so that's something that, it's very purposeful work, I would say. That I'm sure educators, that's one of the things they probably love about their jobs, is when they're able to reflect on, hey, I'm doing something purposeful as an educator. So while I might not have a license, I'm not an educator in the same way. I try to be an educator as far as school law is concerned, and to prepare our administrators so that they're able to do their jobs as best as possible without having too many worries on the legal issues. So there'll be some updates relating to chronic absenteeism. You look at cell phone policies, obviously that's gotten a lot of attention. What does this mean? How does this impact schools? Are their policies going to be in compliance? Are they not? What is it going to mean for the students and so forth? Sometimes we get updates from the Eighth Circuit or for the Supreme Court. Sometimes they have decisions right before conference, and so I'll have to keep up on that. But one of the big ones relates to the library books and so forth, and Senate File 496 from a couple of years ago. We've also had another bill on school safety and some things relating to school safety that I'll talk about as well. And then DEI, I know, is a big one. There's concerns. There was another bill on DEI, of course. Many of our members are probably aware that we had a law passed a couple of years ago that was really relating to DEI in our state. So what does that mean? How is that going to impact what's going on in their districts? When I mentioned the key takeaways, that's often what I get into. Well, practically, you might want to consider this, because you might have the authority to do something, but it doesn't always mean, of course, you should use that authority. So that's something I often talk about on calls, send in emails, talk about at conference as well. And we try to have some fun. We try to really try to compact a lot into a short period of time there at conference. And we've had some good input over the years. It's helped. And as I mentioned, we have some fun. So I have what we call my head shakers. And, we'll have some, because let's be honest, the law is boring. The law, it's pretty boring. It's pretty boring. You could put yourself to sleep at night reading the bills and all that. I don't know how Dave Dotton, our lobbyist, does it. But we try to make it fun. So intermittently throughout the presentation, I'll share some of those head shakers and get some audience participation, and we have a good time. There's a lot of energy in the room, and I enjoy sort of soaking up that energy, that positive energy, and I try to share some positive energy back with members there, so we have a good time and they can head out and start the new year off well.